Welcome back, everybody. I'm so sorry about that. We had a few technical difficulties, but in that time, we didn't really miss a whole too lot. There's been a few back and forth rounds, and we find ourselves at 12-8. A similar score line from what we left with, but this round early on, we're seeing a lot of aggression. Elusive actually getting the bomb down really early on, but gets snatched back. Stan W spots him out. Hero now. His position's known. He's here with the orb. If anyone peeks him, it should be his kill for the taking. Might be able to catch Stan W on the cross, but his reactions aren't that quick. And I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for the save call here. Connor coming up from behind. Might be able to find himself something. That could initiate a retake now. Especially as Stan W's such low HP. And Hero's got a fantastic position to make something work. But the timing doesn't work for him at all. And Freestylers is far too quick on that orb. No way they're catching him there. So, the signals. 13-8. Freestylers sitting 31-13. Stellar performance from him as expected. As we come into round 22, well, there's not a whole lot for the Infantry to do. They've gone for the nade stack, but, well, the signals have countered it with nades of their own. Dan W finding himself 2 kills with that grenade. And Hero, the only man with the M4, nothing he can do with it. Trying to work out. Nah, that wasn't a mistake purchase. He did have enough to buy it up. It was just a questionable buy. Could have had an AWP this round instead. I think in that scenario, you just kind of hope that the grenades from your teammates do something, and then you find yourself in maybe a 1v2, 1v3 situation. You're the banana player, it's definitely doable. Not that round though. This round he's going for the banana play. Oof, he stood in the fire for a bit too long, but he found himself a kill, and as long as he gets away alive, and it was definitely worth his while. Jams himself in the corner behind the fire. That smoke's going to allow him some leg room, but falls to Dan W. Faz comes in and gets the trade, but falls straight away. Connor's here with an over, looking to clean up, but can't do anything as Freestylers almost gets caught with his pants down, but manages to jiggle back, whip his gun out, finish off the job. It's Elusive and Keeney coming in from behind now. Keeney actually opting to rotate round from CT. Elusive coming from Banana, finds himself an AK, and the sound cue won't be heard as all 3 signal players right now, right back on site. They want to play this one together. Stan's low HP, and they've got plenty of utility to lock the site out right now. Still 3 flashbangs left on these players as well, and with Elusive not finding himself that kill, the only man with the weapon, I can't see Keeney doing this with a USP. Might be able to find Stan. That'd be a free kill onto the low HP player, but surely not able to retrieve a gun. Does so much damage, but cannot finish off Freestylers either. Gets him down to 3 HP. But an easy trade for Solrak to make, and that's going to be match point now for the Signals. What was looking like a very, very close game has really started to drift away for the Infantry. And now the Signals 15-8. Plenty of money in the bank. Same can't be said for the Infantry. They've really forced up what they can, except Keeney, which is quite bizarre. He's left himself with some money, just down to a USP. Not sure he got the memo that this is probably the last round. A lot of early damage done though, so I may have spoken too soon. Stan and Solrak are both down to, well, sub 50. Hero up close to this MP9 might be able to do some work. Elusive manages to find himself a knife kill on the other side of the map as well. Dan W, the only man able to find a kill for the T side so far as Hero chimes in. Elusive finds one. It's all on Dan W. Last alive, a 1v3. Only 13 HP. A bomb to retrieve, 3 to find. A near impossible situation. Plenty of money in the bank, and it's looking like he's going to go for it. Fantastic player, and well, he's definitely got some clutch potential. We've seen it from him in the past. A questionable smoke grenade. Don't think that landed exactly where he wanted it to. Actually gives him a little bit of a one-way there. Maybe that was deliberate. I don't think it was. I think it's very unlikely that was deliberate. Nice off angle as well here from Elusive. I'm sure he doesn't check on top of the wall. And there we go. Elusive, easy pickings. Gets himself a kill. Still an uphill climb ahead. 6 rounds in a row they need to pull back to level things up. But they've done what was needed, and that was to win the last round with the limited firepower. So now they've got the money to buy up the guns. And the weird eco from Keeney means he can now go glass cannon. Well, okay, he's not going to... Okay, this is weird. He's He's bought an AWP with no armor, and he's given it to Hero, and he's now just down to an M4 with no Kevlar, which is very bizarre. Nice Molotov from Freestyler though. That's going to cut off short, and that leaves Faz right out in the open, and he needs to fight for his life. He's flashed, he's spraying, he finds himself one bikini, even with the no Kevlar. Somehow gets a collat with the M4, gets himself one more as well. And now Jokic last alive, a 1 versus 2. It's all over, he's pulled the bomb out. He hasn't checked round the site. What on earth is he doing? He had so much time. Maybe false information that the site was clear. But Connor's going to capitalise on it, and the Infantry pull themselves ever so closer. Now just a 5-round gap as we sit 15-10. Got themselves onto double digits, and the signals are down to just the pistols as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the round where they take it, because they might just change the pace a little bit here. Catch the Infantry off guard. Last few rounds have been playing this rather slow. The CT side have capitalised on it. Freestyler's looking to open things up with this Deagle. Just needs to make sure he gets the timing right. Swing, spots the player, does so much damage, but can't convert the kill. Tags 2 down to half. Jokic finishes 1 off, but he gets taken down himself. Keeney in a position where he is rather vulnerable. He's going to be Hero to come and help him out, but as Connor gets tagged down to 7, he's going to fall right back. The rotation starts heading over towards B, so still a very vulnerable position for Keeney, but he should have heard that sound cue. And that's giving them a false illusion that they're going over towards A, but Stan needed to find that kill, and he's managed to fall. Dan W does trade it out, and he finds himself an M4 as well. Spots the player, but gets legged down to 9 HP, so he needs to find the kill as he swings out, does actually find it, but Connor trades it out. Solrax manages to cross over to the site, and it doesn't look like the Infantry know. I think he managed to kind of just cross in all the confusion. Infantry should know that he's over towards A now, as obviously Elusive's got aggressive on Banana, so they know he's not B. But I think they're worried that he could have wrapped CT or something. They really have no idea where Solrak is right now. That smoke's obviously going to give away his position. But it is going to isolate the fight to allow him to get the bomb down. 10 seconds left, has to punch in the numbers, and Elusive coming in from short. Desperately wants to deny it in case it was in default, gives away his position. Solrak manages to find Connor as he's low HP, and now a one-on-one. Knows exactly where Elusive is. And Solrak, the clutch, the 2 versus 1 to finish things off the Royal Signals. It was looking a little bit dangerous for them, but they do come out on top. And Solrak and Dan W sitting on 23 kills. And Freestylers, a stellar performance on 33. A massive, massive performance from the Royal Signals, and it's on their opponent's map pick as well. I am rather impressed from the Infantry. Obviously, the Signal side is a very, very strong side as they were in the past, and with their new additions, it seems that they are just on fire. They're a fantastic roster. So the Infantry definitely put up a fight, and I'm interested to see what they can bring to the table on Overpass, because that Inferno game didn't go too well for them. It very much seemed like, other than the first sort of 6 or 7 rounds, the Royal Signals were just in control the entire time, and even when it was looking close and there was sort of 3 or 4 rounds in it, the Signals were always ahead, always making sure they were winning their gun rounds, and there was just kind of minor hiccups along the way where they lost a few here and there. But they're a roster that have been together for a while, and I don't think the same can be said for the Infantry. However, let's see how this next one plays out. I think that was a 16-11 scoreline, so rather close. Rather close, and I think that the next game could definitely be another close one. But as I predicted initially, I think with the Signals winning their opponent's map pick, going on to Overpass, a map that they should be prepared on, they should be able to come out on top. So Overpass, I'm trying to look at for some stats or something from last season, because I want to see how these guys have done in the previous season. But in fact, it's looking like we're just going to throw to a break. We're going to give the players a little bit of time to cool down off of that game before we jump into the second map. And yeah, we'll be right back with you in, I don't know, 5-10 minutes for the second map. Jesus.
Still so much to do.
My mic was muted. Hey, right, okay. We're going into the second map. It's going to be Overpass. That is the Royal Signals map pick. We've just seen them beat the Infantry on Inferno, which was the Infantry's map pick. It was a little bit closer than I think the scoreboard would have shown, because the Signals were very, very dominant the whole game, but the Infantry did manage to pull right back a few rounds at the end, and it was looking a little bit close, and it ended up going 16-11. So a pretty strong performance from them, and I'm actually quite interested to see how they do jumping into this second map. Obviously, it is their opponent's map pick, but Overpass, one of those ones that you should be pretty comfortable with, and anything can happen. The last game was close enough that anything could definitely happen. If it was just a complete whitewash and you say, you know what, they've got no chance, then yeah, it's a different story. But coming into map number 2, I think it's definitely anyone's game. And I think we're going to just jump straight in right now. We've had the knife round. We're going to jump straight in live with a pistol round. And here we go. Map number 2. Whoever wins this one takes the series. Sorry, not whoever. If the Signals takes this one, they take the series. If the Infantry take it, we go to map number 3, which would be Dust 2, which would be a tasty map number 3, because Dust 2 is always a fun one to go to on a map number 3, because it's just one of those maps that comes a lot more down to the raw skill. But talking about raw skill, Freestylers takes down Hero, who's up on that boost. Gives them that man advantage, actually opens up the B site completely as well. The Infantry are here for a quick retake, but the bomb's going to go down nonetheless, and Stan and Freestylers, well, find themselves a couple of kills. Connor gets one back, but as his teammates have fallen all around him, nothing he can do, and a crispy headshot from Freestylers to finish him off. Waving around that sexy, sexy gut knife. Look at that. Oh, wish I had one of those. Either way, their teammates burn up around him. He's got himself an AK. Stan with the Galil. A couple of SMGs on the rest, and no real investment from the infantry side. We've got Deagle on Faz. One Molotov being thrown early on as well. But that's about it. Just sees USPs now to hold up the B site as the Signals just charge straight in, no respect whatsoever, and they will just be able to get right onto the site, get the bomb down, and the Infantry are here. Well, I'm not sure if they're going for exits or if they're just going to try and get a couple of kills on the retake. Not a whole lot of hope for them here, but as Elusive's close to this, Smoke might be able to find himself something, pulls out the Zeus, but it's too late. Hero's found himself the kill. Poor timing on his part, but Freestyle is coming up from behind. Can't imagine a whole lot more can be done for him here. Hero is able to actually find himself one more with the USP, so he's been able to do more damage than he really should have been allowed. But the Signals, nonetheless, come out on top. They've saved the 2 rifles that were actually worth something. Only lost 2 MAC-10s in that, well, messy exchange. So as we go into round number 3, reinvestments have come in for the Signals side. We've now got 3 AKs, the Galil remaining on stand, Solrak sticking with that MP7. Bit of a bonus round for those players as they're sitting around the 3k mark. And a bizarre buy from the Infantry side. They've got the weapons, but very limited utility. Faz just down to a scout. Hero here with the AWP, but he's not in a favourable position at all. He's been Molotov right out, and he's sitting in water. Wants to wait for someone to poke their head up, and it's Dan W, and he comes out on top. Elusive charging in from short. Desperately wants to deny this bomb plant. He's able to do that. Bought some time for Connor to come in and help out as well. Gives them that man advantage, but Solrak seems to have an idea exactly where he is. Gets the kill, and that's going to be an M4 he can pick up. And short control regained for the T side means they can get the bomb down as well. When you don't have short control, you can't go for the plant, but now that they do, it really, really changes the whole dynamic of this round, and to be honest, it doesn't matter too much. Freestylers and Solrak manage to find themselves the kills needed. Connor does find one back, and he's tapping away, done some damage as well, but taken some of his own as he's down to 33, and Solrak just swings wide like a Suzuki and rips his head right off, and Royal Signals win the first buy round, put themselves onto 3. Force the Infantry right down to a, well, a position where they really can't afford to invest into this one. Just down to the pistols. 3 P250s, 2 flashbangs, smoke grenade, a HE grenade. I don't see them doing a whole lot with this, to be honest, but we'll have to wait and see. You don't want to count them out too quickly. Signals, though, are just heading right over towards A, and Hero, well, the only line of defense on the A site falls without a whole lot of contestment. Jokic just there Getting hit once with that P250, and they make easy work of him. So they're charging right up long now. Really taking a bit too much time to clear all these angles. Obviously, you're against an eco, you need to clear your angles as to not get caught off guard, but it has meant that the infantry can rotate right round. Doesn't really matter too much, though, as these pistols aren't able to do any damage whatsoever. They get absolutely mowed down. It just leaves it down to Elusive and Keeney. Elusive desperate to find himself a Zeus kill right now, and as he swings out, timing doesn't work out for him at all, and it's Solrak and Stan to close things out. Signals put themselves onto 4. The infantry now do have the money to pull out another full buy, but their track record so far on this map over the past few rounds has not been good at all. Really struggling to find anything in this game. None of the rounds have been close. Of course, this is the Signals map pick. It's very evident that they're prepared for this as well. So the infantry really need to find their footing, otherwise they will let this one slip. Elusive's got himself a nice angle with that AWP though, as he falls off of it. Just the wrong time. As Freestylers peeks it. He's able to just walk right up as well. We'll be taking the engagement with the AWP, and it should be Elusive that comes out on top. He hits that shot all day long as Hero finds himself one as well. The double AWP setup working out really well for the infantry side right now, but Solrak should be able to get the drop. Oh, timing doesn't work out for him at all. Tapping away on the dumpster player, but gets pincered when Connor peeks. Chockage coming in now. Trying to join into the mix of the confusion. The Molotov coming in towards barrels. That's going to alert Faz. No way does Stan expect Faz to be here, but actually he's just gone straight through the smoke. He's punching in the numbers. Faz, not connecting the shot through the smoke, does finally find it, but the bomb's able to go down in that scenario. Obviously, Chockage is in a 1 versus 5 now. 5 HP. There's absolutely no way he does this, but the bomb really shouldn't have gone down there. That's a big money boost that just shouldn't have happened at all. Elusive's the one to finish it off with the AWP. And the infantry do put a round on the board and very, very importantly, keep 5 players alive as well. So they can retrieve themselves a couple of AKs. They retain the double AWP setup. And it means that they can, well, build up a bank and not have to reinvest anything besides utility. The Sigs, though, 4-round lead, and they kept plenty of players alive in those rounds. They can fully invest into this one. Could have bought an AWP, but they didn't opt for it. All 5 AKs just charging into the B site. There are 2 players waiting for them, and, well, with so much early information, they're calling the rotations. Faz finds Chockage, that's the bomb down. It's down in a pretty open position as well, and the Signals have a difficult job to retrieve it. The smoke goes down, going to make it a little bit easier, but as Elusive picks off Dan W, that's a 2-man advantage now. All 3 players on the Signal side low as well. Stan and Freestylers find themselves a couple of kills though, but as they quickly get mowed down. Very, very fast back and forth trades. Somehow the infantry come out on top. And there could be 1 buy left in the Signal side if they go for it. It's looking like that's going to be the case. Would have been smart for them to go for some kind of eco here, but they had the money to go for this. Solrak could have dropped an AK. Stan actually could have bought himself something as well, instead of going for the smoke and the Tech 9. So this is actually a really bizarre buy, because you've got 2, make that 3 players on double eco. 2 players with with AKs that also have money for next round. It's bizarre. Very, very bizarre. But either way, could work out for them. Connor here with the AK finds himself 1, can't convert the second as Freestyler swings, finds himself the kill. That nade's going to do a lot of work though. Thought it might actually finish one of those low players off, but it's not going to be able to do that. Just makes them lower. The Molotov from Elusive's going to be able to finish off Stan though, so makes it a 4 versus 3. Keeney's the low player, and the only player left on the site, but it's all a big bamboozle. The signals, the call's been made to run right back and head over towards B. Faz is going to be the player there as always to try and deny it, but they should be expecting him to be in water. It just comes down to timing. He swings out, finds one, does a lot of damage onto Solrak. But it's Solrak and Freestylers that remain, and Freestylers, the absolute monster, takes Elusive, brings it into a 2-on-2. A very fair 2-on-2 as well as the HP mirrors. Hero, the only player with full health, and he's not got the weapon of choice for a B-site retake. Freestylers does take out Keeney. Hero's going to give away his position as well, making the sound cue on the scope. There's surely no chance here. He hasn't even got a kit, and he knows it. He's going to fall right back. This should have been the infantry's round for the taking with those two-man advantage, but just slips out of their grasp. Might be able to get... Oh, no, he's missed a shot. Oh, he's missed a second shot as well. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Solrak, he's not even going to go for it. He knows that he's narrowly survived the bomb and very, very narrowly survived death. Really should have been taken down by those AWP shots, but the hero opting to stay on the AWP despite that little hiccup. The signals, though, have bounced back, put around back on the board when it was looking a little bit shaky. They're going for the pick. And, well, Elusive's done well to find himself one there. It's onto a pivotal player as well, as Freestyler's now out of the equation. The player sitting 11-3 right now. Very, very dangerous man, but he falls. See him much of the same as Hero finds himself one of his own, but he gets quickly traded by Stan. So we find ourselves in a 3-on-3. Huge amount of control gain from the signals, though. They've got Long to play with. They've got all of Toilets to play with. They've got Connector to play with. They've got Short and Monster to play with as well. And again, it's only Faz over towards B. He's got himself in a good position to get himself one, but essentially it's a one and done with no utility. He's spraying away, does get himself one, but should be traded. Does a whole lot of damage, though. Really shouldn't have been able to do as much damage as he did there. Could have even got himself another kill. Unfortunately not, though. Leaves it in a 2-on-2. Stan and Solrak. The HP is in the favour of the infantry side, but with the smokes up and the bomb down, the advantage goes to the signals all day long. They don't even need to peek here, but Stan gets over aggressive and Keeney completely punishes him for it. Solrak with the Molotov in hand, throws it at a good time. That is going to deny the defused. Oh, he stands it, he sticks it, it's going to burn to the flames. Connor goes down. I think Keeney's just about got this in time. He does, but wow, that could have gone completely differently. I'm very, very surprised that Connor just stood in the flames there and tried to hold that defuse. He really should have known that that Molotov was going to spread, and he had plenty of time to just fall off of it and secure the kill, because had his teammate have died there, that would have been round over. Either way, though, the infantry do come out on top, keep one player alive, plenty of money to buy around it as well. No longer have the money to... in fact, they could have. They could have gone for the double up setup again, but they chose not to. This time it's just Hero on the AWP. So Signal's going for a fast connector play. They've taken the B short control, heading up over towards Toilets. Hero knows that he's hit some shots through the smoke, sponged up some players, but he's in the corner with an AWP. He's got no teammates to support him, and Solrak's hungry for the kill. Here comes his teammates to support, but as Freestylers finds Hero, that's the AWP out of the equation. A good nade from Keeney to level things out. As he swings out, finds himself a kill as well. Connor finds one of his own, but not before quickly being traded by Dan W as Stan gets himself one with the MAC-10. Elusive in the corner behind this smoke, unable to deny the bomb plant. Does get the kill on Stan afterwards, though, and finishes off Dan W. So a 2 versus 2 quickly becomes a 2v0, and the bomb's going to be defused. AWP retrieved as well. It's actually a really good response from the infantry there to bounce back and take that round. So, round number 10. We sit 5-4. What was looking very, very one-sided in the first few rounds of this game has really bounced back. It's looking a whole lot closer now. The rounds are becoming closer, and some of them are going in the favour of the infantry, and even some of these early picks as well. Hero finds Dan W early on. Freestylers get to refrag over towards the other side of the map. Brings it back into a 4-on-4 and leaves Faz to try and hold up this B site. He does a lot of damage, but taken down by Solrak. That nade might finish him off. Just doesn't do the job, though. And Keeney is now the player to try and deny them the B site. The smoke's not going to do a whole lot. In fact, it actually works out well for him, but doesn't work out at all as Freestylers lands the headshot. 4 versus 2, but 2 players very low. With all that utility as well, it could work out, but Hero doesn't manage to use any of it. Connor throws his Molotov right out the map. Does manage to take down Freestylers, one of the low HP players, and he might be able to find Solrak here as well, if he swings the right corner. Going to do exactly that. Does find the kill onto Solrak, but still 2 to find. A kit in hand. Smoke and a flash to work with, able to isolate these fights, but... oh, he should have spotted that player Monster, but I don't think he did. Bomb's beeping far too fast. Molotov on the bomb as well. He needs to just fall right back. Save that in 4. Bring it into the next round. I think the rest of his team might be able to buy up, but Elusive wants some money. Hero with some as well. He can drop that in 4, buy something of his own. They could make this work. Unfortunately for them, though, they're just denied the opportunity to tie up. We saw this a lot in the last game as well. They got close, but anytime they got close, the Signals would just kind of buck up their ideas a bit. Deny them the opportunity to level things up and always keep a couple of round lead. Elusive right now, unable to do anything as Dan W mows him down. Freestyler's doing the same. The rotation's being completely cut off as Solrak's holding the short tunnel with the AWP. And all of a sudden, 20 seconds into the round, we find ourselves in a 5v2. The bomb's down for the Signals side. And well, Hero and Connor should just go and save here. But Hero's going to fall, Connor's going to get his head ripped off, and well, the Signals, no respect whatsoever. That round was done and dusted in 30 seconds. Nothing to be said for the Infantry side. No money in the bank as well for them to work with. And that investment, whilst it was a decent one, it made sense. They were able to buy a fair amount as well. It just did not work out for them at all. And now all 5 players heading over towards mid, going for somewhat of a nade stack, but they've only got 3 nades in hand, and it's not going to be able to do a whole lot. Does a bit of damage onto Solrak. In fact, the USP is able to finish him off. They charge straight in for the AWP, but Dan W's there. I wouldn't say baiting, but he's there to, well, get the backstab. Him and Stan clean things up. Make sure that they retrieve the AWP. They don't allow their enemies to take it and run off. And they make easy work of that eco round, only allow the Infantry 1 kill. And off of the back of that, they are going to opt to buy. No money for an AWP, no money for utility on several players. And Faz just down to a FAMAS. That key B player. However, this round, he's trying his luck over towards A. He's given Elusive the job of B, and Elusive hasn't been able to do a whole lot better. He gets ripped off straight away. Hero gets peeked from 2 angles and ripped to shreds, and now Faz, well, it's a new situation for him, but the same outcome. He gets taken down. Connor manages to find Freestylers, but well, we've seen this several times this game. An impossible situation for him to clutch up. 4 versus 1. And the B site to retake. So many angles to clear. He's so paranoid, and as he peeks out, stands there patiently waiting with his crosshair at head level to finish him off. So the Signals really start to pull away here. 5 round lead now. As the Infantry, still no money in the bank. They are going to have to go for somewhat of an eco here. Should allow the Signals to get onto double digits, especially if they continue to play the way they have. And what was looking like a very close game at 5-4 is now looking like the Signals could pull away and get themselves another 10-5 half, possibly even 11-4. All 5 players from the Infantry side this round stacked up over towards B, but they just haven't got the firepower to work with. And Freestylers has just got the brains. A perfect spam through the wood means that Keeney falls very, very early on. I think they've realised now that they are running into a B stack, but they just don't care. They're mowing through it. Connor's allowed himself 1. Make that 2 as he takes down Stan. Actually a 3 versus 2, a winnable situation, and the Signals don't want to take their chances. They're going to fall right back, head over towards A. That is going to allow Elusive and Connor to retrieve themselves some rifles, and it's definitely a doable retake for them. The only real detriment is the fact that they have no Kevlar. They've both got a smoke grenade to work with, but well, they could be useful. Try and separate some of these players, take the fights one by one. On this bomb site, though, in the current positions from each Signals player, I'm not sure how well that's going to work. Elusive does level things out to a 2-on-2, but Dan W's position, it's a really tricky one. It's going to be difficult to get rid of him. That Molotov coming in from long is going to give away the position of Solrak, and he is going to fall. The Molotov's on the bomb, though, and no kit on either of these players means they have to just go in for the defuse. Dan W swings out from that sneaky position, and he does manage to clean up. The Signals, that was looking really dangerous for them. But Dan W, the key player, all he needs to do in that scenario is stay alive and swing out right at the end to deny the defuse before that 10-second warning goes off. And he's played that role perfectly and wins the Signals the round. So he puts them on to double digits, 10-4 right now. Same situation we saw them in the last game. Or at least a very similar one. As Elusive opens things up early on with that AWP. He's got the bomb down, but he doesn't know it. And even if he does know it, they can't secure it. It's really in a position that they can't do a whole lot about. Faz is attempting it though, as he finds Stan through the smoke. That's actually quite smart. Instead of going for the peak, go on the other side of the smoke, try and make something work. They're going for the boost above the sandbags, but haven't got the visibility. Then it's going to be good. But as Hero finds Solrak, this is actually looking like this should be the infantry round. It's Dan W and Freestylers to try and clutch this one up. Freestylers in an attempt to try and retrieve the bomb does get taken down. Dan W finds himself one back, but Heroes coming from the back lines. And we end up ending the half 10-5. Exactly the same scoreline as we saw in the last game. Obviously in the last game we saw the Signals come out on top, despite the fact that it was their opponent's map pick. So on Overpass, a 10-5 T side is very, very strong. And as long as they've got some strats for their CT side, especially if they've got a CT pistol strat, they certainly could run away with this one. Everyone again pulling their weight except Chokage in this one. Seems to be struggling a little, sitting 3-9 right now. Other than that though, very, very strong stuff from the Signals side. We've seen just a lot of B plays really. They've really abused the fact that the infantry struggled to hold B. Now, that isn't just this game. I think that is just Overpass as a whole. I think that B is just heavily abused because it's one of those sites where the skybox is quite high and you can throw every single grenade that clears every single position. You can Molotov barrels, you can Molotov water, you can throw flashes high, and you can just bombard that bomb site with nades and take it every single time. So no surprise that that's what they did. And it's no surprise here that they're heading for a stack as they expect their opponent to just charge right into the site. That's exactly what they're doing. Baz manages to trade one back though. Dan W finishes it off with the grenade. So a man advantage still for the Signals side. Very messy engagements as no one seems to be able to connect a shot. But finally Chokage and Dan W finish it off. 3 players down alive for the Signals side, and they've done the important job of winning the pistol round. Had they have lost it, well, they've still got plenty of rounds to play with, but it becomes dangerous. And the infantry going for the questionable decision of ecoing. Now, it makes sense because if they force up and they lose, then they really have no rounds to play with. But arguably, right now, they don't have enough rounds to play with to go for an eco here. No bomb plant as well means that they won't even be able to fully invest into the next round. Hero unable to do anything with that clock. And actually, what they're doing here as well, by full ecoing, they're against 5 MP9s, and they're allowing their opponents to just build up a huge bank. Even if they do get the kills, they're not really taking anything out away from the Signals. For now, though, no kills being dealt. The Tech9's not able to do anything. Freestylers claims himself another onto his 2-kill tally. Make that 3 as he lands another headshot on Takini. And he's got himself a cheeky $1,800 bonus as he sits on 5k right now. And I think the Signals might even go for a bonus round here. In fact, they're definitely going to go for a bonus round. They've got 7 rounds to play with. Go for the bonus round. Full util. Kits all round. MP9s all round. And maybe they'll just go for some aggressive plays. And if they can take these AKs out of the equation that the infantry have somewhat foolishly brought up as they've got no utility, that would be a right result. Flash goes over. Freestyler peeks out. Flash doesn't get both of them, but he gets one, and that allows him to get 1 kill. Chokage chimes in to help out. Actually finds himself 2. Elusive finally trades it, but 3 versus 2 for the Signals side. Solrax retrieved himself an AK as well as he came up from behind in Connector. Managed to creep up behind in the carnage, unspotted. Elusive, just timing doesn't work out for him. Doesn't thoroughly check it, just gives it a little glance. Leaves Keeney in a 1v3, 50 HP. And the Signals can go and retrieve a couple of AKs if they wish to as well. For now, they're sticking with these MP9s. They should be able to get the job done with them. It's Dan W to finish it off. Grabs himself an AK as well. Stan finds himself 1-2, and round number 19. Infantry got no money, lost their buy round, and the Signals have run away with it with MP9s. They've claimed themselves 3 AKs. They've got plenty of money in the bank as well. Chokage has bought himself an AWP to work with. And the infantry realise that they haven't got any more rounds to play with. They have to force up here, and that Well, that entails 3 Mac-10s, a Nova, and a Tech-9 as they go for the B rush. Charge him right through the Molotov. Faz and Hero have taken extortionate amounts of damage. An early kill from Faz, though, and Hero mean that they do get onto the site. They gain the man advantage. Solrak will be able to deny this plant, though. Oh, he whiffs, but he still manages to do it. That's not actually the bomb planter, though. It's just an extra kill. But as they've got the man advantage now as Freestylers, well, Shabbily manages to control his spray. It's Elusive and Hero to try and clutch this one up now. Only the Mac 10s to do so, though, and Solrak's going to win that firefight all day long. 3 versus 1 here. Hero, the bomb is planted for him. Oh, he doesn't realise it. He thought the bomb was planted on the right-hand side. He could have just swung and denied it, but certainly miscommunication there. Does allow the Signals to win the round, and the Infantry, again, well, they have got money now. They've got the loss bonus, and they did save a little bit in the last round, so they can force up into this one. AKs and an AWP. Again, we're seeing a lackey. And there we go. Keeney does actually buy utility. I thought he was just choosing not to, which was quite bizarre. But no, they've got a fair amount to work with. It's Hero to open up as well onto Stan. Gives them that man advantage. Not the first time we've seen it. It seems that when they do get the man advantage, they do actually struggle to close out the round as well. But if they can find this kill onto Dan W, the tables might turn. Dan W does a lot of damage early on, though. And as he pulls out the grenade, surely that finishes him off. That's Hero out the equation, but the Kobe's returned as Connor lands one right on his noggin. The man advantage gain now for the Infantry side as they're coming up over towards B, but Freestylers lands a nice headshot in the gap and the smoke onto Connor. That's the bomb down. I'm not sure if they know it, though, as Solrak drops. Yes, Crosshair goes all over the place when you're mid-air like that. Man advantage now still for the Infantry side. Take that back. Look at that headshot from Freestylers, though, and the 180 to turn and find Faz. I've no idea how he's landed that onto Keeney. And to follow up on the second is absolutely huge. The Signals now put themselves onto match point, and again, what was looking like a very, very close game has fallen from the Infantry's grasp. The Signals have taken full control. Freestylers is sitting 26 to 9. And well, it's just an absolute whitewash. Faz not giving a whole lot of respect to the Molotov, just dancing around the edge of it. Freestylers is going to fall right back, but he will get caught off guard. Can't fall back in time, and the flash doesn't work out for him. Solrak comes in. There's a lot of damage in Connector. Can't convert the kill either, though. So despite a lot of damage being dealt, there is a 2-man advantage for the Infantry side. Chock is desperately trying to get across the site. I have no idea what that was. I don't know why he's tried to cross the box with no support, no flash, without even checking. He could have just peeked it with the AWP and cleared it. Either way, though, Dan W's done work. Found himself 2. And the Stan gets elusive on B as well. Just unfortunate timing for Dan W as he pulls his knife out. But doable clutch for Stan to work with. A 2v1. Keeney's down to 4 HP. Post-plant's gained now for the Infantry side. As Stan creeps up, he has got a kit to work with and a smoke grenade. So, still very, very doable. But not a whole lot of time. He's made the steps, possibly made his position known, but he knows where the first player is, and that's the full HP player, and it's Hero. Gets tagged up. That makes things all the more worrying, and he puts the smoke on the bomb, and he's just going straight for the defuse, and that's not the play at all. He gets mowed down from both angles, and the Infantry give themselves a lifeline. Still 9 to pull back in a row if they want to level things up, take it to overtime, and then desperately fight to go to a third map. But despite winning the buy round, they have to do it all over again as the Signals have got plenty of money in the bank and they buy into this one. Dan W just down to a Deagle, which is bizarre because Chockage could have bought him a FAMAS, but maybe just a bit of miscommunication there, maybe a bit of greed from Chockage. We'll have to wait and see. Doesn't matter too much though, as Freestylers finds himself the first onto Faz early on. That's an AK that can be retrieved, but you got to make sure it's safe before you start swapping out weapons like that. Means that we find ourselves in a 4-on-4. The Infantry gambling over towards B. They have been spotted though and Stan's here playing this head angle, but as Dan W falls, he's the last line of defense. He's in water, wants to deny this plant, but can't, but lands the headshot onto Connor, a humongous flick, somehow as well. Oof. I have no idea how Hero has missed that shot. Jokic has missed that one as well. It's not going well at all. Hero finally comes out on top though. Solrak the man with the AWP in a 1 versus 3 clutch. I'll be surprised if he goes for this one. Not the weapon you want, and with no kit in hand as well, it'd be very foolish for him to go for. His best bet here is just to hold this, see if he can get himself an exit frag. No one exiting out a monster for now, though. They should know exactly where he is. And the Infantry put themselves another round on the board. It was very, very messy. But they come out on top. They keep 3 players alive. And they actually managed to retrieve 2 AWPs as well, which is pretty massive. I'm not sure if you want 2 AWPs T-side on Overpass. I think that there are setups you can play. You could put someone over towards mid early to get the pick. You can put someone over towards monster, and it can work. But it's certainly not something you want to be running every round. So, we'll see how they play this one out. For now, the Signals actually investing around the 2 weapons. In fact, 1 weapon that was saved. Chockage buying himself an M4. The rest just down to the pistols, but very, very capable players on those pistols. It's Stan, Dan W, and Freestylers. Dan W and Freestylers wielding those deagles as well, which they have proved in the past. They can turn the tide with Hero missing the first shot, getting the leg onto Dan W. That nade might finish him off. It's going to do exactly that. Dan W goes for the kill instead of falling right back. It's going to cost him. The Infantry take the man advantage, but Hero being really shaky on that AWP. He's missed a lot of key shots this game. Somehow comes out on top. Hits the ones that are needed. The round starts to level out. The Infantry don't want to overcommit to anything. Heading over towards long. Realise they've got a lot of control over towards A. And it's looking like that is where they're going to end up. The Signals somewhat made a mistake to stack over towards B, but Solrax managed to find himself an early kill. Might be able to get the second as well, unfortunately. Just shoots into the bin. Can't deny the plant, but might be able to deny the post plant for the person who punched in the numbers as he's still stuck behind the box. Keen, he swings out, manages to find himself a kill, but Freestylers lands 2 deagle headshots. Chockage finds one as well, and now it's a 3-on-1. I have no idea how they found themselves in this situation. I think it's all down to those 2 big frags from Freestylers. Hero comes up from behind, they're not expecting him, and he manages to find himself 1. Loads of damage onto the second as well on the Molotov. He might just have the angle on it. No, it's going to explode in the air. He's going to fall, and the Signals get on the defuse just in time. And they take the game 16-7. I have absolutely no idea how they won that last round. That was huge. Either way, though, a much-deserved win for the Royal Signals. A fantastic performance from Freestylers today, as expected, and the rest of the team. Dan W showed up, Solrak showed up, Stan showed up, even... I've forgotten his name. Oh my god, that's awful. Chockage, I think it was. He showed up as well. A fantastic performance from the Royal Signals. They decimated today. 16-11, 16-7. 2 very, very convincing wins as they take the series 2-0. And I'm really excited to see how they hold up against the other teams that we saw in previous seasons of the Lions League and how they hold up against some of the new ones as well. This is going to be all from us this week. I've been M&J. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to stay updated with all the Lions League action, head over to lionsleague.co.uk or follow us on our socials, which will be in the little panels in Twitch. You can click on those, give us a follow. We'll give you updates on all of that stuff and the CSGO Fight Night stuff as well, which is going to be super exciting. That's all from us this week, though. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll join you again this time next week.